Benjamin Fairhall says, YouTube search for this Tylenol for fevers. Are doctors horribly wrong? Pregnant, why risk even a small dose of thalidomide? This is a reference, I presume, to the blow-up that's happening right now over the use of Tylenol or acetaminophen, as the Americans call it, Panadol, as we would call it, paracetamol, for people who are pregnant. And what's really interesting is what Trump came out with was a bunch of studies. Now, I don't know who's right, but it wasn't a thought bubble. It wasn't just him mouthing off. And the reaction, like we've literally, and I don't know if they're just doing this for attention or if this is just mentally ill people or whatever, but the reaction of people going, pregnant women going online and taking videos of themselves for TikTok, taking large amounts, like unhealthy amounts, unnecessary amounts of painkillers. And let's not forget, paracetamol is one that can kill you. It is possible to overdose. It'll destroy your liver, and you will die a very slow, painful death over a couple of weeks.
Well, this is like one of the first things that people try to do if they're trying to, do the unspeakable thing. It's usually like an OD on paracetamol. And I don't think people realize, because like you have to think back to the 90s and the 2000s. It was like, pop a Panadol ads and Nurofen ads, Sudafed as well. They were very commonplace on TV. And I think a lot of people believe that aspirin and paracetamol are, perfectly healthy for you. They're not. They strip, I'm going to get the name of it wrong, starts with G. It's, they do something to your gut, and there's my goodness, I'm going to ruin this. But essentially what it does is it resets your stores of certain chemicals that equalize your gut, and also other things to do with your cognitive balance. I'll pull up Nat's thing, because I was literally watching this a couple of days ago.
Look it up. While you're looking that up, let's blast through a couple more. Mr. Stu, always good to see you. Hey, Grifter, can't even chat without paying now. We'll quit your whinging, Mr. Stu, you stingy bastard. Come on, $2. You can do better than that. For those that don't know, Stu and I are very good friends, so I'm having a go at a mate. Joe Cameron says, maybe everyone needs their dopamine hit to make existence easier for a brief time. Yeah. Don't deny people simple pleasures. Simple pleasures. This is one of the things that really annoys me about all the nonsense with smoking. Now, obviously, I enjoy my cigars, which is a more expensive hobby. For those that are sitting there going, oh, he's talking about cost of living and smoking a cigar. I have a business partner. We import cigars. So I'm not paying the retail price on cigars. And I have to keep up to date with the stock and how it's aging and make sure that nothing ages out and gets too old. So I do have to sample our wares from time to time. Right. So that's how I do that. All right, you go.
Okay, I've got the thing about the Tylenol. So this is from a doctor, an actual doctor. So for the record, taking Tylenol or paracetamol if you have terrible pain, it's not a bad thing to do occasionally. But what it does, I'm going to terribly pronounce this, your glutathione, your master antioxidant and your detox hero, is wiped out by paracetamol. So when you're already running on empty, this is where we start to see issues. This is why hospitals use NAC, N-acetyl cysteine, for paracetamol overdoses. It refuels the, oh my God, these words, glutathione stores. I'm so sorry. I'm butchering this. I know. And here's
we need the book of words for tonight. We need the book of words. This has got to be in there somewhere.
But yeah, so there are actually disadvantages to taking paracetamol, which, I'm not here to tell you guys don't take it. It's more so like, there's a cost of everything. And I don't think see, there we go. Bronny's got me. Thanks, mate. Thank you. And Amanda's got it. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. So, what I found so interesting around that, and purely from a psychological study, is anything Trump says, the progressive left will do the absolute opposite.
Yeah.
So if he says
with no thought.
But so much so. I mean, there was a couple of like really weird videos that went around that I can't conclude whether or not they're actually real. There's this story about a pregnant woman took it and then she was dying. I think I sent that to you. I don't know if that's true.
I saw that story. I haven't seen any verification. It's not completely outside of the realms of possibility, but it's also exactly the kind of sob story that people would write for clicks. So who knows?
Well, the fact we're living in a world now where that sounds plausible is quite concerning.
That's pretty sad.
But yeah, the interesting thing about this is, even Tylenol posted a tweet. I mean, you guys saw this on X. saying, we don't recommend pregnant women take it. But the fact that Trump said it, everyone just immediately goes, this is, against science. Like, there was even a screenshot of all the CNN headlines from the last decade talking about it.
Yeah.
And then obviously fast forward to 2025 and their entire attitude changes. And I'm not trying to convince anyone to vote for Trump or to be on our side of the fence, but merely look at that and go, guys, these reactions aren't normal. This is not how we're meant to operate.
We need Donald Trump to come out and claim that oxygen is essential for life. And then all the idiots on the planet will work very hard to prove him wrong. And the gene pool will get a good cleansing.
I'm a big believer on taking the warning labels off things, honestly.
Yeah. All right. So we did put this one up earlier when we were talking about Adrian Portelli. But Joe Cameron says, I find it annoying when people look at someone successful and use the word luck. More often than not, it's hard work. You're absolutely right. There is almost always an element of luck, but every single one of us gets a stroke of luck from time to time in our lives. To different degrees. That looks like different things for different people. But there are people who position themselves to be able to really make the most of it and run with it when they get that. And there are people for whom it doesn't make a lick of difference because they're just not, they're not thinking in those sorts of terms. So yes, and almost always the people that are really successful, even if there was an element of luck at some point, the luck was at least in part because of hard work, and the luck made a difference for them because they continued with the hard work in order to actually get them somewhere.
Can I play you that reel? I just feel like it's worth showing just to get people to. I'll tee it up because I'll finish with this, and then we're gonna jump over to a really sad story, but I'm going to say something that will probably get me in trouble. So before I get cancelled off the internet, let's play this. I'm just going to cue it up. And oh, hang on. I can only do one at once, can't I? Sorry.
Right. While you're doing that, can I just quickly address another super chat here? Shooter Down Under says the Shooters Fishers Farmers Party is trying to get red tape cut so that hunters can donate their meat to the homeless. Will you do a video about this? If you can send me through something, just send it through tofaffield@gmail.com. Send me through something. I'd love to see that because it is a huge issue where hunters literally they can't even give their meat away. It's ridiculous. They should be able to sell it, to be honest. But yes, at the very least, to be able to donate it would be a good step. So Shooter, send me through an email, tofaffield@gmail.com.
Isn't that alarming where you have a viable avenue to be able to feed people and we're like, no, it doesn't pass the bureaucracy. Like that's, I just, only in Australia. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't have the relevant paperwork.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. I'm going to add this over. Let's start it again. And Aussies are wasting no time jumping on their favourite pastime, a good old-fashioned tall poppy takedown. Adrian Portelli buys out Derrimut gyms and the comments, absolutely insidious. So let's talk about it. Yesterday it was announced that Portelli had bailed out the struggling gym chain. And as predictable as ever, one scroll through Reddit or Instagram and it's the same old tired chorus. Portelli's a con, he's exploiting people, and if he's so rich, why doesn't he just give it all to charity? Well, Derrimut was in serious strife. Massive ATO debts, unpaid rent, and hundreds of staff at risk. Portelli steps in, negotiates, pays creditors, and keeps around 800 people employed. Like him or not, that is what capital does. That is money hard at work, saving infrastructure and saving jobs. But you won't see that in the comments because the outrage only ever cuts one way. Every day, CEOs of corporate monoliths siphon off cash into their Sydney Harbour mansions or their private jet, and no one bats an eyelid. So long as they play the game, say the right buzzword, they're an LGBT ally, or they're a climate warrior, all is forgiven. Let's take Mike Cannon-Brookes, Atlassian co-founder. Buys himself a $75 million private jet, but it's fine because at least he thought about climate change before he boarded it. Adrian Portelli cranes a $2 million McLaren into an apartment and suddenly he's a crook, he's a scammer, and he's public enemy number one. And the people screaming about capitalism, well, they're doing it from their iPhones, wearing their Nikes, waiting for Amazon parcels and Uber Eats deliveries. They don't actually hate capitalism. What they hate is watching someone who wins at it. Where they should direct that energy is at cronyism, where monopolies are on taxpayer-funded bailouts, CEOs are raking in millions thanks to political mates rates, and they're getting their golden parachute because that's actual corruption. But what Patali is doing isn't being parachuted into some cushy role. He's literally carving out his own lane. And the LMCT plus outrage? Well, when did everyone forget about agency? We've got everyday people rorting the NDIS scheme that now costs taxpayers $48.5 billion a year, more than our entire defense budget. But the second someone earning their own money decides to buy into this lottery, that's a scandal. Suddenly they don't know what they're doing. They actually hate Adrian because he built businesses while they're out blowing their own cash on coke for the weekend or the latest Labubu drop. They're maxing out their afterpay, drowning in Klarna debt, but sure, let's lecture the guy who built his wealth from nothing. It's like these virtue centuries just sit online waiting for their next target, screaming scam because it's easier than facing their own inertia. Adrian didn't stumble into this by accident. He dreamed of it, he risked for it, and he played the game loudly, and it's paid off. So what do Aussies do? They sneer. They call him a criminal, as if bitterness is a higher moral code. Well, it isn't. It's a mirror that reflects their refusal to even try. Tearing down people has never built a thing. It doesn't lay foundations, it doesn't hire staff, and it doesn't pay wages. Risk does, work does, and vision does. So before you start hating on Patali, ask yourself, are you really defending the vulnerable, or are you just soothing the sting of your own mediocrity? Because if the only thing you've built is bitterness, maybe you're not the moral authority you think you are. Maybe you're just the chorus line in Australia's favourite pantomime, the Tall Poppy Parade.
All right, whoa. You mean to tell me you've watched all the way to this point, an entire segment of the Oddcast, and you're still not subscribed? Seriously, what is wrong with you? Just subscribe, like, share, tell everybody. You had fun, right? Tell everybody else. Let them have some fun too. And listen, buy me some coffee, please. I'm desperate. I'm starting to get the shakes. Like, just there's a coffee. That one. Scan that coffee, please, now. Thanks.